Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to do a scrapbook process layout and I'm going to feature from the July-August catalogue the Wander collection, and you'll notice when you look at these pages that it's really an outdoors feel. The papers are very much designed for outdoor adventures and so are the coordinating products that go with them. But I thought it would be fun to take two of the papers and make it into a birthday celebration page. The papers that I'm using are these two here, the sapphire and the canary patterns. This one is like a night sky for outdoors, but when I looked at it, I thought it would make really good balloons. And this one here has a chevron on it, a very subtle chevron. You'll see from the other side of these papers that they are very outdoorsy and they're very suited for outdoor pages here too, but I thought it would be fun to make a birthday celebration with them. So you can see I've designed two overlays here in Design Space with some balloons. I've put the balloons all together, I've welded them and I've positioned them, and then we're going to fit the balloon centers in like a jigsaw puzzle. So I'll just move these aside because the first thing that I want to do for these layouts is put some of the background pieces on. So I've adhered a zip strip across the left page and I'll continue that on the right. I'm going to put all the photo mats down and some of the decorative elements, and then towards the end of the video I'm going to show you this title that I've created in Cricut, and I'm going to do a couple of treatments to it with options for colouring it. You can definitely have it just like this on the page, and that is printed and then cut in Design Space on the Cricut machine, but I wanted to show some fun techniques of how to zhuzh this up a little bit. So I'll fast forward through all of this part here and then we'll get on to the fun bits. So you can see here that I've got the bases of the pages ready to go for the photos, and now we're going to move on to the decorative elements. So I'll just move this right side page away for the moment and we'll start putting this together. Now, the easiest way that I have found with something of this size is to use either liquid glue or dot roller. Using a dot roller is very quick and very easy to do for this. What I do want to make sure is I don't put any adhesive on this side here because that's going to overlap the photo a little bit. So I'm just bearing in mind that they're the pieces that I don't want to put any adhesive on. You just have to make sure that you hold this very carefully. Because I've cut it out of the silver glitter paper, it is a little bit more sturdy. It is a thicker paper, a thicker cardstock. But if you've cut this out of a pattern paper or a lighter weight cardstock, you really want to support each side, especially if you're using a dot roller. If you're using glue, you can just go and dot over it, but I just find for working with something of this size, using the dot roller makes it very simple. So that's all adhered to the page, and you can see here there's no adhesive there, so I can slip my photo under later. And now I'm just going to roughly work out where my balloon pieces are going to go. Some of them are complete circles, but some have a little section cut out, so I know that that's going to go here and this one's going to fit in here. I thought it would be easier for the Design Space file to have them so that they fit perfectly inside the balloon shapes. I don't really want a blue balloon here. It's a bit too much blue on blue, and I've got blue up there as well, so I'm going to put one of the canary ones in there. And I think that will do, and then all I have to do is start adhering them in. So there's the left page with the sun's coming through the window, so I'm sorry for the glare. I've left this a little bit late and the sun's starting to set. So let's get on to this side. There are a couple of layers with this title. So there is a base layer which I can go ahead and adhere, and then there is a top layer, and I'm offsetting them so there's a drop shadow to it. So I'm going to adhere this one first, and then I can go ahead and adhere the main part of the title there, and you can see that the shadow effect happens. I like my shadows dropping down to the right. It's just my preferred preference, but you can put shadows any way that you like. I just like having the heavier part, the darker colour, at the bottom right. It just seems to balance it out, putting the heavy section underneath. And then we're going to put our balloons on. Now for this side, the balloons are a little bit smaller, so these circles only fit inside these ones. If you try and put them on the left side, they're just a little bit bigger. And once again, so you'll get some gaps if you do it that way. So once again, I'm going to be mindful of the fact that I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do this title. So I'm not going to put adhesive on these two bottom strings here. So there are the two pages, and you could definitely just stop there and not do the extra bit with the title. It's totally up to you, but I thought it would be fun to show a cool way to add a bit of pop of colour to this title. And then I'm also going to add some glitter gems and some gem dots to this as well, which I'll put up in some still shots at the end of the video. So what I want to show you with the title is two different ways of colouring this. Now I've got some markers here that match this cardstock as much as I could get, and you can go in, and because this has been printed with a Cricut pen, I've found that it's fairly bleed proof. Now I did cut these out. These were drawn and cut a couple of days ago, so they have had time, the ink has had time to dry. So you want to make sure you do that. You don't want to ever go in straight away with colouring. And I'm going to start with the darkest of the true blue shades. Then I'll go to the mid. I meant to do it on this side of the H as well. And just gently touch the nibs to the paper. You don't need to press hard at all. And then I'm going to the light side, and I'll start bringing that colour into that cross section of the H. So this is the true blue shades. Now I'm going to go to the true blue blend. That's hard to say, true blue blend. And I'm going to go with the darkest colour and blend that next. So that's going to go into the lightest shade of the true blue shades. And then I'm not going to use the light of this true blue blend. I'm just going to go with the mid and go to the top. And you can see I've got a graduated colour, and I can go back in and blend that a little bit more. So that would be the blue section, and then in the next letter I'm going to alternate blue, yellow, blue, yellow. I'm actually going to start with the mid of the gold yellow blend. I'm going to use the citrus blend, and I've found that the colours with that don't have as much of a distinction as what some of the other markers have. So by bringing in the mid and then the light of the gold yellow blend, just adds a bit more depth. Then I'm going to go in with the dark of the citrus blend and go over the top, and you can see that brightens it up a little bit and adds a bit more yellow to it. And then I'm going to go with the mid and go over top of that mid of the gold yellow and extend that up a little bit. And then back in, sorry, not back in, and then I'm going to introduce the light of the citrus blend. Now, that gives a fabulous blend of yellow and more depth at the bottom than what you would get if you just used the straight citrus blend marker. So combining the two of these with the mid and the light of the gold yellow blend and then the dark mid and light of the citrus blend gives you a lot more shading. And if you stay away from the edges, you'll get some nice clean colouring effects, and it will really give a wonderful pop of colour to this title. Off camera, I'll go and I'll colour all of that in, and I'll do some still shots for the end of the video so that you can see the difference between having this like this as a nice clean white crisp title or adding this colour in. Now there's another way that you can colour these titles, and I've got another one cut here, and I'm going to bring in some Distress Oxide inks. Normally when we use Distress Oxide inks, we use water. You can use it without, you can use it to stamp, you can use it just to run across the page or distress edge the edges of your paper. This time I'm not going to use water because with the Cricut pen I have found that if you do use water it will bleed. So basically all I'm going to do is smoosh this down, not add any water at all, get some acetate, pick up the yellow, and you get a gorgeous little spray effect. And that is adding a gorgeous touch of colour and a distressed look to these letters. Now I'm going to bring in the Chip Sapphire. I was using mustard seed for the yellow. This one's a little bit juicier. I think I need to re-ink my mustard seed. So you can see here, you get much, I should have started with the blue to show you, but you get much more distinction with a juicier ink pad. And I can just keep going across. I can pick up more. But I wanted to go with the blue and the yellow. And if I overlap it too much, I could get a bit of a green hue. But I'm just being careful going with the dry on dry. So now you can see that by adding a little bit of that grungy look just makes that title pop as well. So you can have either a coloured in one, a grungy look that you've distressed yourself with the Oxide inks, or you can have a nice clean font. So the options are totally up to personal taste. I like them all. If I was doing this for the title, I might go in and add some more splotches around on the pages, and I'll do that in a demo at a workshop and show people how to do that sort of thing as well to add to the page. So avoid water or watercolouring with the Cricut pen, but you can definitely colour in with the markers and use the Distress Oxide inks dry. So I've got some silver glitter gems and I've got some In This Together dots. I think they were still available at the time of me doing this video, so I'll check, and if they are, I'll put a link below, as I always do, to everything that I've used. And then I'll come back and I'll share some still shots so that you can have a look if you wish to check it out even closer. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed looking at me put these together. I've really loved designing this overlay for the balloons, and it really comes together quite quickly as these are all one piece, so it makes it easy to put it on. It's really not that fussy at all. Thank you again for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye for now.